Welcome to this Alpha Constructions Explainer. Today, we're digging into some absolutely essential advice from Paul Netcher's guide, Building a Successful Construction Company. We're going to focus on one of the most critical parts of your business, your contracts. You know the feeling, right? A great project kicks off with a firm handshake and a real sense of trust. But let's be honest, in the construction world, what happens when those verbal agreements get a little fuzzy, or when unexpected issues pop up? That handshake isn't going to protect you. A solid contract, though, that will.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, why contracts are so darn critical. Then we'll look at the safety nets they provide you, how to handle disputes when they happen, and finally, the right way to partner up. Let's get to it.
All right, first things first. We need to change how we think about contracts. Seriously, it's not just a pile of legal paper. It's the actual blueprint for your entire business relationship. You get this part right, and you're building on rock-solid ground.
At its core, it's pretty simple, right? One person makes an offer, another accepts it. Boom, contract. But, and this is a huge but, the book makes it clear that the devil is in the details. If you just skim over that fine print, you could be setting yourself up for some costly, time-consuming, and just plain frustrating arguments later on.
I mean, this slide says it all, doesn't it? It's night and day. A clear contract gives you structure, it gives you protection. No contract, you're basically inviting chaos to the job site. It's the difference between building on a solid foundation and building on sand. And a good contract, well, it's a shield for everyone involved. Okay, so how does a contract actually protect you? Well, it's more than just a list of rules. Think of it as a safety net for your business. Let's break down a few of the most important clauses you need to know about. First up, the letter of intent. You've probably seen these. It's like a preliminary handshake to get things moving before the final contract is all signed and sealed. But you got to be careful here. The book really warns that you have to check these things closely to make sure you're protected and not accidentally committing to more than you think. Next, let's talk about what really matters, getting paid. Cash flow is the lifeblood of this business, and a payment guarantee is your safety net. It's what lets you claim payment if a client, doesn't pay. But here's the kicker. It only works if it's set up correctly from the very beginning. And then you have guarantees and warranties. This is another big one. When you promise the quality and durability of your work, you better be crystal clear on the terms. What exactly does it cover? For how long? And can you really meet all those conditions? You need to know these answers inside and out before you sign anything. Now let's be real for a second. Even with the best contract in the world, disagreements can happen. The goal isn't to pretend conflict will never exist, but to have a clear, agreed-upon roadmap in your contract for how to solve problems when they pop up. The book puts it so well. A well-made contract that you actually understand is your #1 defense. You got to think of it as a tool for preventing disputes, not just for winning them. It's about being proactive instead of reactive. So, if a problem does blow up, your contract is your guide. First step, keep talking and keep meticulous records. Try to resolve changes as they happen. Second, if things get official, you have to follow the dispute procedure in your contract to the letter, no winging it. And third, termination. Look, that's the big red button. It's an absolute last resort. And remember, it's not just about you and the client. Contracts are just as vital when you decide to team up with other companies on a joint venture. When you go into a joint venture, a super detailed agreement is completely non-negotiable. It has to spell out exactly who does what, who's responsible for what, and how the money gets handled. This is what keeps all the partners protected and, rowing in the same direction. So what's the big takeaway here? I think this quote just nails it. A strong contract isn't a burden. It's not just more paperwork. It's you actively creating the conditions for success. You're not just hoping for the best, you are making your own luck. So I'll leave you with this question. When those inevitable project storms roll in, is your business built on a solid contract, or is it built on sand? Because that foundation, that's what makes sure all your hard work, your reputation, and your company can stand the test of time. Thanks for watching this Alpha Constructions Explainer. Now, go out there and build something amazing. Just make sure you build it on a solid foundation. Protect your projects, and you'll solidify your success.